y'all, it's Amanda from Love and Renovations, and today I want to talk to you about patching small holes in drywall. One of the things I hear from my friends all the time is that they're really afraid to hang pictures on the walls because what if they put the nail in the wrong spot? Or what if they change their minds and they have to patch it? Or what if? Well, I'm here to tell you that patching nail holes in drywall is actually one of the easiest things you can do. So I've partnered with my friends at Adapt to show you how to do it today in just a few minutes. Let's kick things off with our hole. This is a nail that I put into this wall and I don't even remember why it's there, but as you can see, there's nothing hanging from it. It's just a nail in my wall. So we're gonna be using this as an example today of how to patch nail holes in drywall. So step one, pull the nail out. As you can see, it's left a little bitty hole there. Pretty annoying, but really easy to fix. The first thing I always recommend checking is, do you need to sand it down? As you can see, the surface of this is smooth. I didn't pull any of the drywall up as I was pulling this nail out. However, if it had been an anchor or maybe a screw, something a little bit larger, there may be some raw edges here. And if that's the case, you're gonna just wanna take a sanding block and lightly sand on the surface before you grab your spackling. Once you are ready to patch, I'm gonna be using this Adapt Fast and Final Lightweight Spackling. As you can see, it can be paint ready in just 30 minutes and it shouldn't flash through the paint. So really, really easy to use. If you have a large hole, you're gonna wanna use a putty knife. However, for something super tiny like this, I find that a putty knife can be a little bit overkill. I actually just like to use my fingers. So I just am gonna get some of the spackling right here off the lid. I'm just gonna use my finger to get a little bit, and then I'm gonna put it right on the hole. Now, let me show you something important. As you can see here, I have overfilled the hole just a little bit. You see that it's sticking away from the wall. You don't want this to be flush because you're going to be sanding it down. So you want it to stick out just a little bit so that you have some space to sand down once it's dry. So now, all I gotta do is wait. So it's been about 30 minutes. I've got my sanding block and I'm ready to sand this down. Now you wanna work really lightly. You don't want to be removing any texture or paint from your actual walls. Super light sanding just to get it smooth with everything else. Real time, so you can see how fast that was. Now, already, my hole has more or less disappeared. So realistically, if you have white or almost white walls, you don't really even need to touch it up because it's blended right in. However, in case you have darker walls, I wanna show you what I would do to patch this. Your instinct is gonna be to grab a paintbrush and just paint right over it. But here's the problem with that. When we paint over old paint with fresh paint, sometimes you get what's called flashing, which is where the texture looks a little bit different. It's kind of obvious that you've painted, even if the colors do match. Then you end up feeling like you have to paint the whole room. We don't want that. Here's where your best friend, the paper towel, comes in. All you're gonna do is stick this into your paint, get just a little bit on there, and then you're gonna dab all around that. You wanna spread it out. So don't just dab on where the patch is, dab all around it and spread it out. You're putting a lighter layer of paint on this way. You're getting it a little more mixed in with the rest of the colors, and it is far less likely to show if you use the paper towel method. And that, my friends, is how to patch a nail hole in your wall with minimal effort and a minimal amount of time. Obviously, this was a really, really easy one because it was just a nail hole. If you're dealing with screws, if you're dealing with anchors, you're gonna wanna use a putty knife. It's gonna be a little bit bigger, but it's just as easy as this, I promise. Now, go forth and put all the holes in your wall, knowing with confidence that you can fix it if you need to.